superheroes are known and loved for a lot of cool stuff, but I think it's safe to say that watching them awaken their powers is amongst the highlights. Come on, did we lose our minds when we saw Superman take his first flight? I mean, even Tobey Maguire climbing up a wall all made us go, woo! I'll admit that we've all been spoiled for choice considering the massive influx of content the MCU's been throwing our way. Doctor Strange and Wanda did their thing in the multiverse of madness, Miss Marvel was surprisingly pleasant, and to top it all off, we just got to watch a very naked Thor in Love and Thunder. Watch out, Steve Rogers, Chris Hemsworth might just strip you away of your America's Ass title. Don't worry, I'm not going to talk about top 10 male butts, maybe I'll do that another time. I'm covering my top 10 superpower awakenings in the movies.
Morbid time.
Yeah, I couldn't help myself with this one. Morbius really is a weird kind of pop culture phenomenon. First, it flopped at the box office. Then the memes pushed Sony to re-release it, and then it flopped again. Even so, the film did have a couple of decent moments, and Morbius' first power awakening easily topped that list. The transformation was slick, he looked super menacing, and we got to see the Morbin vampire take down a whole bunch of soldiers using his spatial movement powers. The only thing that was missing was his iconic catchphrase, "It's Morbin time." Yeah, I know you're gonna argue that he never actually says it during the movie, but thousands of online videos would beg to differ. Sony might have been a little disappointed that the character's popularity didn't translate to any profits, but hey, maybe there's an alternate universe where Morbius is the most successful movie of all time.
Time to die! No, it's Morbid time. Oh shit!
If you look back at the Hulk movies, there's one thing that consistently stands out. The angry green giant has some serious performance issues. Now, I know that Mark Ruffalo is pretty much the benchmark for that, but let's not forget that the Edward Norton version of Bruce Banner also suffered from performance anxiety. It happens when he's got to drop down from a chopper to take on Abomination, and Bruce tries to awaken the Hulk mid-air, but he hilariously fails and crash lands into the ground. Luckily, he doesn't keep us worried for long and comes out as the overpowered hunk we all know and love. I don't need to say much more about the battle that follows, and I'm excited to see more of Abomination in She-Hulk as well. Also, I know Bruce might be feeling a little embarrassed about his issues, but that's alright. Even Tony Stark knows it's uncommon.
What if I told you we were putting a team together? Who's we?
Aquaman has been the butt of a lot of jokes, especially considering his special relationships with his fellow fish. First, it was the boys with Deep and his octopus's fetish, and then it was DC's very own property with Peacemaker.
Go get another fish, asshole.
Now, I wouldn't have been a very angry man if I saw Jason Momoa, but he does have one moment of redemption where he awakens his true powers in his self-titled movie. Not only does he give us the iconic Aquaman costume, but he also takes control of the freaking trench. That monster can easily give any kind of kaiju a run for its money. It was nice to see Aquaman make use of the appropriate marine animals in a real-time war, because let's face it, you probably wouldn't usually associate a goldfish with an all-out final battle. I wonder if he wanted to get nice and comfy with the trench after winning the fight.
Hey buddy, you that fish boy from the TV?
It's Fish Man.
Can we get a picture with you?
It's clobbering time.
Okay, this one might be considered cheating because it's 4 different superheroes, but it's still one guy doing all the damage, so it counts in my book. After realizing that Doctor Doom is way too overpowered for their liking, the Fantastic Four figures it's best to leave all the heavy lifting to the Human Torch. The idea did sound a little weird at first, but then Johnny Storm masters the powers of all of his other team members and gives Doctor Doom a serious run for his money. The fight sequence was amazingly done, and the effects kinda hold up even currently. Yeah, I'll admit it was a little cringy to hear Chris Evans say,
"It's clobbering time."
You can't be mad at that guy after he single-handedly tears his opponent a new one and smacks him away into the ocean without much effort at all.
Should get you checked out.
Stop, jump, and roll! Stop, jump, and roll!
Why does this always happen to me?
if you name Storm, then you better make sure you live up to it. And Halle Berry didn't disappoint. The X-Jet is under attack from a bunch of other fighter jets, and things ain't looking too good for our fellow X-Men, but that's when Storm's eyes turn white as if she's been attacked by Vecna. Luckily, stranger things didn't exist back then, so it's just her summoning a bunch of tornadoes to save the team by scrambling the radars. Yeah, I know Jean also awakens her Phoenix powers to take down one of the missiles, but I didn't want to take anything away from Queen Storm because that windy display, it was right on the money. Man, Disney should really do something about bringing her OG version back to the X-Men, and no, it's not because of all the Catwoman posters I've got hanging on my walls.
Reach as deep as you can. You'll find you have the power to move the very earth itself.
Everyone likes to look at Apocalypse as the bad guy, and they are mostly right, but I feel he should have been given a little bit of credit for helping his buddy Magneto. No, seriously, when Eric was all alone and broken down after losing his family, who was there by his side? That's right, it was Oscar Isaac before his split personality took over. Apart from giving the magnetic hunk some much needed company, he also helped Eric awaken his true powers that allowed him to control even the smallest of metal particles in items such as rocks and sand. The impressive display that follows is nothing short of spectacular, and Magneto looks super epic as he lets out a victorious roar. Yeah, I know this is all part of a plan to wipe out humanity, but come on, we gotta see the good in everyone, right?
3.
After the amazing blockbuster that was Wonder Woman, we got a not-so-amazing flop that was Wonder Woman 1984. While the 80s nostalgia couldn't save this movie, we still managed to witness a very interesting scene that stays faithful to the DC Comics. After Diana realizes that she needs to let go of Steve, because, well, he isn't Steve, she gets her powers back and starts running as if she's racing against Speedy Gonzales. She uses a couple of pick-me-ups with her lasso, and the next thing you know, she can fly. Or float, I mean, I don't really know, but it looks freaking amazing. Wonder Woman has always been an overpowered goddess, so it's not like she needed any bonus abilities, but there's something about flying that really adds a lot to a superhero. Alas, if only the plot of this film could reach the heights that Gal Gadot did. When it comes to Fire and Ice, we all know who's winning. I mean, even the world of Pokemon knows it. One guy who didn't get the memo though was Bobby Drake when he took on Pyro during the final battle in X-Men The Last Stand. Pyro does have the upper hand for most of the fight, but Bobby ain't one to give up soon, and he awakens his ice form to transform into the Iceman and extinguishes Pyro's flames without any effort at all. Maybe Pyro's temper was hotter than his actual powers. But seriously, the villain's face says it all. The dude looked totally bamboozled, and to make things even worse, Bobby absolutely violates him with a headbutt and a savage line.
Maybe you should go back to school. You never should have left.
I'm not sure which one would have hurt more, but either way, it was a cool scene. See what I did there?
Got any beer?
This is a school.
Thanks.
No problem.
Tell me, brother, what were you the god of again?
Of course, I was going to include the God of Thunder. Thor's primarily been known as the dude with Mjolnir, but as his own dad very correctly pointed out, he's not the God of hammers.
That hammer was to help you control your power, to focus it. It's never your source of strength.
He proved that point when he was battling his psychotic sister Hela, and she gains the upper hand after slicing out his eye. She tries to flex her skills by declaring her title as the Goddess of Death, but Thor ain't gonna let her hog all the glory, so he awakens his true thunder powers and hits her with the biggest lightning bolt in the history of lightning. And then, to top it off, he goes on to show off his newly found abilities against Hela's soldiers with the awesome Immigrant song playing in the background. With powers like that and Stormbreaker, I really don't know why Chris Hemsworth wants Mjolnir back so badly. I mean, he said it himself during Endgame.
No, give me that. You have the little one.
Just gotta go faster than the speed of light, far beyond the speed of light. You gotta break the rule, Barry, and you gotta do it now.
If there's one superpower we all wish we could have, it's the ability to go back in time. Unfortunately, this power only applies to the Flash and not Ezra Miller. I'm sure that guy would have loved to reverse some of the stuff he's done. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about criminals, so let's focus on good old Barry instead. The Justice League fails to stop the Unity from formation and the world is about to be ruined, but that's when Flash enters the Speed Force and turns back time long enough for Cyborg to do his thing and save the day with Superman. This sequence is well shot, and Barry's determination truly was the most uplifting moment here. Man, this is the literal example of running away from your problems. You don't have to deal with them if you're literally living in the past. And there you go. Those are my top 10 power awakening scenes in the movies. Like, share, and subscribe if you're new around here, and head over to the links in the description for access to my Patreon and other socials. Alright then, I'll see you next time on the TV Regent.